Located at the head of Emigrant Canyon in southern Idaho, the City of Rocks was a home station for wagon trains on the California Trail. Home stations were staging areas which provided respite during the challenging passage west and were a mark of progress for emigrants on their journey. More than 150 years later, not far from the City of Rocks, a new manner of home station is set against the high mountain desert. Paradise Creek Recovery is a residential treatment center for men dealing with sexual problems, sexual addiction, and problematic sexual behaviors. At Paradise Creek, we help you begin to recover your life, overcome your addiction, and heal in a dignified, therapeutic environment. There is hope, and Paradise Creek can be your home station on the journey to wellness.
You know, when people get in trouble sexually, what people primarily are seeing is the behaviors. And when I say people, family, law enforcement, our culture, we're seeing the behaviors. But one of the common denominators is that most of these people have a history of sexual trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, and they basically learned and developed unhealthy ways to cope. And if those aren't resolved, then they can often lead to acting out sexually.
I don't think that addiction really exists without a trauma lens. We've tried for years and years and years to treat people without treating the trauma, and it just doesn't work. People go back, they relapse, because that trauma keeps surfacing in their life, and they have to find a way to snuff it out. They have to find a way to soothe that ache, and they do so by mood altering out of it with substances or with some type of behavioral addiction.
Sexual addiction is a process addiction, defined by the loss of freedom to choose whether or not to compulsively engage in a behavior, and the continuation of the behavior in spite of adverse consequences. Patrick Carnes, a leading researcher in the field, states that 3 to 6% of the general population struggle with sex addiction. For many, these issues can pave a path of shame and loneliness. Our approach works to address toxic shame, empathy, relationships, forgiveness, healthy sexuality, and relapse prevention, as well as stress management and emotional regulation. We take a comprehensive look at each person's life in order to help them create meaningful and lasting change.
We have to accept the past and accept where I am and move forward, but identify how they can go about developing healthy attachments. We do it here at Paradise Creek in a very similar way that might be developed in a family. So, for example, we have 3 meals a day together. It's a home-cooked meal, it's nutritious. So we have that type of family dynamic, even though we know that it's a professional relationship. Those type of exchanges and transactions that create healthy attachments in real life is what they experience here.
We really care about what we're doing here. We care about these people, we care about their families. They're getting about a year to a year and a half's worth of work in 28 days. So it's a very intense program that has some downtime, but they're here to heal.
I love working out here, and I think that it's part of the beauty of the program is that it is secluded enough that there aren't distractions. By the time they leave, I would say more often than not, they end up loving it out here, and it becomes a place of serenity and a place of safety.
This gives them the jump start. This gives them the ability to get excited about life, to get some sobriety under their belt, to deal with a lot of the issues that they haven't been able to deal with in a more controlled setting. And the success rate is pretty phenomenal.
Paradise Creek Recovery Center is your home station for respectful, effective, and dignified help with sexual problems, sexual addiction, and problematic sexual behaviors. Your journey to wellness starts in the high mountain desert. Contact us today for more information.